Well, hey, you guys, I am thrilled to have Nero Feliciano with us today. She is a cognitive psychotherapist, yes, and an expert on psychology and brain science. She's also a wife and a mom of 4, and her new book, All Is Comish, is out, and she is just incredible, you guys. She has such incredible wisdom and insight. She's one of my favorite people, so the fact that she is here in studio, I'm just so excited about. All right, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. And here is our conversation. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
This makes me so happy. Okay, so as we're going into the holidays, you have been talking about this subject, thinking about this subject a lot with just the world. Because number one, your book, All Is Comish, is out. And I love it. All Is Comish.
Good.
Such a fun title.
It's true, right?
It is.
Ish.
Yes. Yeah. Never fully, it feels like. So I'm curious from you, like, your perspective of why do you feel like we are the way we are in America today, of just overabundance of not just like the consumer side and like the buying of the holidays, but our time, like our expectations, like where we have to be, all of that. Like, does it feel like a lot? And has it always been like that? Or am I just a grown-up now? And I feel like I realize it.
I'm a therapist, and just hearing you say that makes me feel overwhelmed. So I can only imagine the average person. It is. And I think part of it, why, especially in the holidays, it gets so overwhelming, because we're all operating at maximum capacity all year long, right? Do you know anyone who has extra mental bandwidth these days?
Totally.
Especially parents, you know, when every activity is year round and there's a sign up for everything and an app that you have to sign into for passwords you don't remember, you know, every single time.
Yes.
So then we think about, we have to run life like that and then put everything else on top of the holidays. So that's where I think it gets to be kind of emotional overload during that time. But then we're also living in this culture that's bigger, better, more.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Right? And we're inundated with what life could look like and what life for someone else looks like and how much better it is all the time, because everyone has access to social media on their phones. So I think a combination of the two, because that piece also still goes on on the holidays. Then it's just tailored to the holidays. Look what you have to do. Look what you can get. You know, look how beautiful your house can look. Gets all then.
It just merges and collides
together.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's what it feels like. Yeah. So it is probably the pace at which we live normally, which I never even really thought about that.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just, I can just focus in on like a specific time on the calendar. But then when you stop and examine everything, you're like, oh no, your normal day to day.
Right.
Is already crazy and going like every hour is booked with something. And then you put holidays on top, and then you add technology and being able to see what everyone's doing. So, so people are feeling that. Like, I talk about money a lot, of like the margin of your money and your finances, and like, how do we have expectations and be wise about that? But from like a time and a relational standpoint, what does that look like for people as they're going into the holidays and planning trips, seeing family that they may or may not even want to see?
Right. That's a whole other conversation.
Friends. Yeah. So like, what is that? How do you even start? Like, if someone does feel so overwhelmed and they're like, okay, I'm going to this holiday season, life already is crazy. What are things they can like think through, prioritize, put boundaries up, like all of it? Like, where can they even start?
Yeah. And I had to think about that for the book.
Yes.
Right? Because it usually starts with us. And then we set the tone for our household. Yeah. So I actually wrote this book through 2 holidays, because the deadline actually got pushed out a year. But I said, okay, now I'm writing it through the second one. I'm going to practice what I know I put into place. And part of that is just starting with a moment of calm in your day. That could be 1 minute of breathing before you go on your phone to just center. It actually doesn't take long, Rachel.
Yeah.
You know, we think about all these practices that we're told that we need to do, all these wellness lists that we're trying to check off, and even that gets overwhelming.
Sure.
Start with 1 minute of breathing before you go on any device in the morning, right? And the other thing I did was I created a little small ritual for myself that I would try to do a couple times a week. And all it was I sat down. I actually did a devotional, because that's what I do. But I lit a candle. And there was something about having that candle and the smell of it and a focal point. All of this took all of 5 minutes, by the way.
Sure.
But it changed my energy in the day. And I would also say, aside from, for me, that was something I had to look forward to throughout the whole season. But take 3 things when you think about your whole season, everything you do. 3 things that you say, I'm going to be fully present for that.
Yes.
We cannot be fully present all throughout the day. I love people who can, but most of us can't.
Sure.
Right? We run at this crazy pace.
Right.
The 3 things that those are important to me. I don't want to miss it. I want to remember it 2 holidays, 3 holidays from now. And that gives us a sort of structure that we can then begin to build around. So
I love that. And I even like that you kind of put a little bit of a time frame because you're like, during the season, do this because it calms you during this craziness.
Right.
It may be a habit you take on for the rest of the year.
Right.
That you love. But even the senses, like the smell of the candle, like people talk about that, the memory of what someone told me when I first got pregnant with my first. She said, wear a different perfume during each pregnancy. And when you go back, you'll remember. And I'm not kidding. It is crazy. And I did 3 different scents through my pregnancy. But all that to say, the power of even just smell.
Yes.
And so I'm like, so engage your body, engage your senses with it to allow your actual body to calm down and be present. Because there, I'm assuming you kind of get a clearer mind to make other decisions that are coming up.
You absolutely do.
Better.
The senses are powerful. And even when people are having panic attacks, one of the grounding exercises we do is engage your 5 senses in the moment around you.
What do you see? What do you smell?
That's right. Exactly. So that's very true.
So interesting. Okay, so you get this ritual in place.
Yes.
You can calm down, kind of like...
It doesn't have to be fancy, literally, like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
But it's something that grounds you in that moment.
But be consistent with it.
Yes.
Because then that leads to the ability to have a level of mental capacity.
That's right.
To start to make these decisions. And as people look forward and they're like, okay, maybe they've gone through Thanksgiving or something, right? And they're heading into the Christmas season. What do you say of expectations of other people during the holidays?
Yes.
And what do you do to I don't know, when are you supposed to quote unquote just be a good person? And you know what I mean? Which is such more the people pleaser side. And then where do you put up the boundary and say, okay, we don't have time for X, Y, and Z? Because we literally don't. And if I say yes to these things, it's going to cause chaos and disruption and it's not worth it. We're going to create some margin in that. How do you pick and choose and how do you create those boundaries?
Yeah. It's complicated depending on the situation, right?
Yeah.
And there isn't a scripted answer that's going to fit everybody's situation.
Yeah.
But I do think we can go back to what about this situation can I control? Because that's all we can control. We can't control how someone else is going to respond or what they're going to bring up. We can plan our responses to it, though. Right?
Yes.
So whether that means, okay, I need to step away when things get heated. I need to work on what will it take to calm me down in that moment. I live in the north, as you know, and it's cold, and cold actually helps. So maybe if you live down here, you just stick your head in the freezer at that moment when someone says something, right?
The freezer, open the refrigerator.
Right, because that actually calms us. But I think go back to what can I control and what do I have to let go of and surrender in that moment. And in terms of being a nice person, there are varying degrees of that. Right?
Sure.
We can be cordial, we can be loving, but at the same time, boundaries enable us to stay nice and loving. So that's going to be important too, because we're also trying to protect our family, right? Because sometimes those interactions affect everyone in our family, even maybe our kids in that moment.
Sure.
And I think there's this conception that misconception that boundaries, if you set boundaries, you're kind of a jerk and you're not loving, but they actually enable us to stay compassionate for longer.
Yes.
So boundaries can look like in the holidays, someone wants to come and stay at your house for 2 weeks and you say, hey, we would love to see you, but we've made plans for some of those days. Can you come from, Friday to Tuesday or whatever it might be?
And you're the proactive one.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
Of setting that up.
Yeah.
All right. More of my conversation with Nero in a minute. But first, I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. More than 100 million Americans carry medical debt, which shows traditional coverage often leaves people to face big bills alone. And families need more than coverage. They need community. And that's why I love Christian Healthcare Ministries, a budget-friendly, faith-based alternative to health insurance. So there are no networks, no insurance headaches. Go to chministries.org/budget to learn more. And you guys, when you're working the baby steps, your bank shouldn't be working against you. That's why I love Fairwinds Credit Union. They share Ramsey values like getting out of debt, saving for the future, and putting people first. Their smart checking and savings bundle was designed to line up with the baby steps. So if you're ready to move your money somewhere that supports your financial goals, Fairwinds is what you've been looking for. Just head to fairwinds.org/Ramsey to open your smart checking and savings bundle today. I get a sense, and I don't want to say it's true for I don't want to make a blanket statement, but I do feel like there's kind of been this trend recently of, gosh, my parents or my family maybe voted a certain way,
Yes.
or, or maybe you're in therapy yourself and you're realizing, oh my gosh, my parents weren't perfect. And maybe there was some hurt there. There just seems to be a lot of fractured relationships. And I feel like I hear more and more of this, almost applause to people that like remove themselves. Yes. And again, it may not be everywhere, but I feel like I start to kind of see pockets, and I have been in situations and know very close friends that there was an abusive situation, and there is there are reasons to put up hard boundaries, 100%. And then as not that extreme, but even like people that literally don't have money. They're like, I literally cannot buy a plane ticket to fly across the country this Christmas. Like we cannot afford it, right? And that's a boundary you don't have the means to do it, right? And that's going to be a boundary. So there are reasons for boundaries, absolutely. Do you think that we've gone too crazy with our approach to, I don't want to even call it boundaries because I think that word can be thrown out, but relational, I don't know. I hate to say severedness, but does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I feel like I hear more and more of people cutting people off, and there's like an applause to it versus like a grief.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's a sadness there to that.
I 100% agree with you in that we're seeing way too much of it in situations that don't warrant it. In situations where, okay, we can actually have a really beautiful, productive, healthy relationship and not have every piece in alignment, right?
Right.
And a lot of times the relationships I'm hearing about are adult children cutting off their parents.
Yes, that's
older
it. Yes.
children.
Yes.
Which is also very sad.
Yes.
Yes. So I think part of it is we live in a culture where everything deserves attention, every opinion, every viewpoint, and people platform them. And at the end of the day, it's like, what is it that is going to make your life fulfilling? Is it standing on this one issue? For some people, it might be. But for the majority of people, it's not.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
I always think before you're about to set those kind of boundaries. And some of them, you may have irreconcilable issues, and that's different. There may be abuse. It may be toxicity. That's different.
Yes.
But we're using those labels far too easily before we're really exploring the situation. And I would say, think about your history with this person. Think about the moments where you've shown up for each other. Think about times where this has actually meant something to you. And is that possible now? And especially if we take away that one issue that's creating conflict, can we still have this type of relationship? For some, the answer is no. And in that case, okay. But unless we stop to ask those questions, we're never going to know.
Yes.
We're never going to know. And what we lose may be far more valuable than what we gain by setting the boundaries. So we have to go through that process.
No, that's so good. Because as we're talking about the holidays and relationships and all of that, it is, it's interesting. Because I'm like, you can't be everywhere, right? So there may be times you're going to have to say no. But then I do always wonder, if you look back, are there times that we said no to a full relationship, which is just so sad, and or ongoing, holiday traditions or whatever. And do we get to be 80 years old and look back at our life and be like, wow, my priorities were actually the opposite. It should have been probably more people-oriented than maybe some other things that we're putting. I don't know. But it is interesting because I feel like we're in that season as a family, just in the sense of kids and activities, and we're getting pulled from 3 different grades now where my kids are, and parents, different groups of parents, which are so fun. I mean, but our world just starts to get bigger and bigger, and we're like, oh my gosh, we can't. So my husband looked at me the other day. He was like, Rachel, we can't say yes to everything. Like we really can't. And I'm like, I know, but I want to. But everything's so social and fun. And I'm like, we can do this party and then leave early to go to this. And he's like, babe, just.
But you mentioned something that's really important, and this is one way we look at Are we investing our time in the right places? Think about when you are 80 years old, towards that stage of your life, and you look back on your life. What do you find is going to be valuable even then when you look back? What would you regret if you didn't do?
Yes.
And that question can actually be a guide to
filtering.
how you invest your time in money and relationships now.
Yes. No, that's so good. Okay. Those are all good things to remember, especially I feel like coming up on the holidays. You talk about in the book to choose connection over perfection, which I love. Because I am not a perfectionist. That is one thing that I've never struggled with. No. I struggle with a lot of things, discontentment, all the things. There's a lot of things.
4 kids broke me. But perfection.
I'm like cut corners where you can. I think it's great. Yes. Like I'm fine with it. But I know for certain personalities, even within my own nuclear family, even I'm like I can see the ones that like it is such a part of who they are.
Yes.
Of like doing and if you can't do it perfect, I don't want to do it all of it. Yes.
Yep.
And so they'll put their time and effort into these tasks that at the end of the day, I'm like, you're okay. Like, it's okay if it's not great. But during the holidays, why is this so important to choose that connection over the perfection?
I think there are a couple reasons now. I mean, and I can't underestimate the impact of social media.
Yeah.
The photographing of things, the posting of things, especially when everybody else is doing it. It really is so powerful. And we talk about it. I mean, you and I can talk about it and be like, this is so stupid. But we still all do it 100%. On some level.
Yes.
Right? It's part of our culture now.
Yes.
But I think when we think about it at the end of it, are we depleted? Are we exhausted? And if we are, and have we enjoyed the people who are the most important to us in that season? We have to take account of if we are feeling depleted and exhausted, if we don't feel like we got enough time with them, if the season went by too fast, then what can we eliminate that at the end of the day, and I hate to say it because I think it's important to do things for ourselves.
Yeah.
But no one else cares about but you.
Yes.
No one else in your family cares about, or people coming over, whatever it is.
Yes.
This is why now I tell my friends, come over to my house. Like, it's going to be messy.
Yes.
I have 4 kids. We have 2 jobs. It's going to be messy. Just come over.
Yes.
Because I'd rather do that than spend all the time perfecting the way my house looks and never spending that time with my friends.
Yes.
So questions like that, I think, they're important. And it's really just being honest with yourself about what's going on around us.
Yes. I even think like when we have dinner, I have like 2 friends and I love them dearly, but they do it all the time. And I'm like, stop, come sit down. They'll like get up and do dishes. In the middle, you know what I mean? Like, and it's even that kind of, and I know it's probably more for efficiency than like worried about perfection by any means, but there is something of like, we can get so task oriented. Yeah. We can put this expectation of what things should be.
Yeah.
For other people, really not even for ourselves.
True. But they're doing that because they love you and they want to help you.
No, at their house.
Oh, at their house. Oh, I thought it's your house. I was like,
that too. They will do it at mine too.
If they do it at my house, go ahead.
They start to, they start to like get up and do, and I'm like, just stop it. Like,
their house.
Yeah,
because they can't sit till it's done.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They can't relax.
That's right.
Until it's done.
Yes, I know, and that's what they say all the time, and it's so funny. And I mean,
I'm not that person.
It's just an example. It's like a quick, it takes them 15 minutes. It's not the end of the world, but you take, any level of that and extrapolate it over the course of the entire holiday season, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, let's don't
here's another thing too, right? Practice even at 5 to 10 minute increments of your day, just being bored. Doing something without listening to something.
Oh God, that's hard.
Or having something on. I mean, we do it driving for 5 to 10 minutes with being bored.
And not looking at your phone.
Because that helps us to practice being present. Right?
Yes.
So that person who's getting up to do the dishes and in the middle of a conversation has trouble directing their thoughts to that moment right then. And this is a way that we can train our brain to do it in other moments that are more consequential, more impactful.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so interesting. I was just talking to a friend literally yesterday about kind of this topic.
Yes.
Where I started examining, my husband asked me this question. So now I'm just kind of aware, I'm watching, feeling my brain, where it's going during the day, where my thoughts go. And I'm like, it is so true how I'm going to say 98% of where my brain is most of the time is thinking about, and not even the future, 5 years, but in the next, 2 hours of I got a 3:30 here, we got a, dinner at 6, I got to leave the house by 6, you're there. I don't necessarily think about the past a ton. I know some people, their mind can kind of go there, but rarely do I practice just literally like, even when I'm driving, like last night I did it because we were talking about it.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm driving my 2 kids, listening to like Forrest Frank or whatever,
Right.
Tucsonic and she went to, I don't know. I was like replaying and just like, this is what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
I had to make myself though think it. Like it doesn't just come.
It's a practice.
But it is.
Right. Yeah. Because everything in our life and our culture now pulls us away from that, right? We're standing in the grocery store for literally 1 minute. We're bored. We take out our phone.
Yes.
And also in those moments, we limit our ability to think more deeply. So think about big ideas. Think about, our purpose and our meaning, because we don't give us the moment, the chance to actually let those things come up.
Yes.
So that's the bigger picture
of what
benefit
you're getting there.
Of the small practices.
So good. But every season too, I'm like, even through summer, people, the number one thing everyone always says is, I can't believe it's over. It went so fast, right?
Yes.
And people say that about the holiday season too.
All the time.
When you come back in January, you're like, oh my gosh, it's just like, I can't believe it's over.
I didn't feel that way. The one time it didn't feel
when you
I
did the book
my
and
ritual. Yes. Even though it was so small, I felt like, okay, I had these micro moments of presence and things. And I ended the holiday feeling differently, not how I had every other year. And I have 4 kids and a job, right? So if I can incorporate that in a small way.
So it's a testament.
Feel that way. Yes.
It works. Everything in there. It's your time. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, what else would you say as we end this that you're like, I want people to know this for the season coming up? It could be from the book or just from your thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I think the connection over perfection is a big piece of it, and to think about what do you remember from your holidays growing up? What are you taking with you now as adults? And if we think about it, they probably look different than what we're experiencing right now and what we're doing right now.
Yep.
The extent to which we are doing.
Yes.
So if you stop and think about that and think about what do you want your kids to remember 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Those are the areas we focus on. And then it allows us to think about, okay, what can I let go? And maybe we don't let go of it forever, but trial run it.
Yeah, for
right?
a few months.
For
one
holiday.
Yes.
All right, maybe we'll do a little bit less so we can feel more, right? We can be more present.
Yes. With the kids and their memories, when you said that, is there, I don't even know, is there like scientific studies or something around the idea that experiences and moments as a family versus actual things and what they... Because, I mean, I think it's always, people always ask it, and it's true. We're like, what did you get for your 6th Christmas, when you're 6 years old? Most people can't answer it, but they can talk about, here's the tradition we always did, X, Y, and Z. But there
is, because the experience usually involves connection, right? And we know from the Harvard study of well-being, it's our greatest predictor of well-being, the strength of our connections. So experience also incorporates that piece of it. And then neurologically, there are different neurochemicals. So when we get something new, it's a lot of dopamine, which we know fades over time. Yeah. So if you ask my kids, what'd you get last Christmas? They probably can't remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you ask, what did we do? Or bring up some sort of experience you might have, they'll remember. They'll remember going to the show together, right? In the city. So that also then releases oxytocin. That boosts our serotonin. So those are longer acting kind of appreciation neurochemicals versus kind of the quick high-low of dopamine. So yes.
Amazing. I knew it. I was like, I knew we were created in some way for that to be true.
Yeah, it is true.
Gosh, amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all the wisdom and everything. And where can everyone get the book?
Thank you. Anywhere, all your
the great Amazon
stores, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. And thank you, because you have a chapter in my book where you shared your wisdom about talking about money and budgets. Tough conversation.
I know, this is actually like our introduction was the interview. Yeah. I think the first time we actually
first kind of in-person Zoom
call. Yes, I know, which I so appreciated. So great. Okay, and where can everyone find you?
Well, on today.com, I actually searched myself today. I'm like, I'm here a lot. So
here I am.
You can find a lot of the things that I talk about there, but on my website, NeuroFeliciano.com, and then on Instagram too.
That's right. You're there too. So great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Now, if you're looking for more ways to have a stress-free holiday season, be sure to check out my episode, 3 Healthy Money Boundaries to Set with Family. You can click right here or click the description below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.
Well, hey, you guys. So when we moved into our new house in 2018, we were so excited. And some of the things that our friends, when they came by to see the house, they brought things. And I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, no. But they brought like little housewarming gifts. And I thought it was so great because they were so creative. They did not break the bank. It was not these like, again, extravagant things by any means. But there was something about the thought that was really special. I'm a terrible gift giver. And it was just one of those moments in life that I just thought, man, I want to do better at that. And so if you are that person and you need some ideas, if you're like me and you struggle with creativity, I'm here for you, okay? We got 21 housewarming gifts under $25, you're welcome, that your friends are going to love. So no more stressing about some ideas. Don't feel like you have to break the bank. I am here for you. And these are very practical housewarming gifts. Now, of course, you can make things a little bit more personal, which is great, but here's a list, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a description of them because I think it's important to understand, okay, here's what we're talking about. So let's get into it. Number one, a customized doormat. So this is $25 on Amazon, and you can go and personalize the doormat. So again, it can be like a letter, their last name. It can be something else. But again, for their new home, they can put, on the side door, front door, back door, whatever it is. I think it's a great gift. Number two, a Himalayan salt lamp. So if you have a friend that's into, all of like the essential oils and all of that, this is a great option because, again, it's inexpensive, which is nice, and it purifies the air. So, yes. Number three, a good housekeeping home skills book. So this is $14 on Amazon. I don't know, and it's kind of fun. They can like have it set out, or what's in it is pretty great because it's like little small projects around the house. That's pretty typical and common. If they need to tackle those, it's all in the book. Number four, a free standing wine rack. So this is $22 on Amazon. If they partake in wine, I like this one because it's like a minimalistic look and it's freestanding. They can put it wherever they want, hold some wine, and it's great. Number five, the Pioneer Woman 2-piece ceramic baker set. So this is $20 at Walmart. And every kitchen needs a set of baking dishes, right? So this is a 2-piece set. It's really perfect. I mean, think about pastas and casseroles, desserts, all of it. They're great. Great option. Number six, Swedish dishcloths. They're $12 on Amazon. And this is for your eco-friendly friend out there. And these are like the reusable dishcloths. They're an alternative to paper towels. So, they're kind of smaller. You get them wet, use them, they dry, you can reuse. Anyways, they're pretty great. Number seven, I'm glad for what I have. My kids book $20 at RamseySolutions.com. And if your friends have children or babies, this is a great gift to add to the nursery library and just say, hey, gratitude and contentment. It's an important thing. Number eight, a personalized return address stamp, $9 on Etsy. Someone gave us this, and it was one of the best gifts. We used it all the time. It is so great, you guys. And when we moved to our new house, we've not gotten one yet. And we keep saying every time, especially with Christmas cards, I'm like, shoot, I wish I had our stamp. It makes it so easy. And again, it's a really thoughtful gift. All right, before I continue, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. So CHM is a faith-based alternative to health insurance that makes healthcare more affordable and allows members to share each other's healthcare costs. It's literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider that you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. And with no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. So find out more at chministries.org/budget. All right, back to our list. We got number 9, a rollaway puzzle mat. It's $24 on uncommongoods.com. And this is so great. I love puzzles. And again, storing them and all of it can be kind of difficult. So when you're cleaning or needing to move things around, sometimes the puzzle's just right there. And I think this is a really creative gift. I love this one. All right, number 10, we're going to get really practical. A fire extinguisher, $22 at Home Depot. And you're thinking, really? But listen, I think it's a great thing. Saw a video on Instagram of Taylor Swift using one recently in her kitchen. And I thought, I think we should all be that safe. So if your friends don't have one, they probably don't. It's not something you think about. I think it's a great idea for a gift. All right, number 11, Mrs. Meyer's Cleaning Trio. It's $22 on Amazon, and everyone just loves the basics, right? You're starting off with, a cleaning starter kit. It's cute, smells good, really easy, and it's going to be used. Number 12, a vintage style cappuccino mug. So these are $20 on Amazon, and they're really pretty. They're really cute, multiple mugs right there. And again, if your friend loves coffee, I think it's a really thoughtful gift. All right, number 13, Bone Maman gift box. I don't know if I said that right, but it's $22. And if you really love fruit preservatives or your friend does, this is a really great package. This is not sponsored, but again, English muffins, a pack of that. I think it's a really great gift. Number 14, utensil and tablet holder, $20 on Amazon. So it's not just pretty, but it also keeps your phone and your tablets propped up. So if you are cooking recipes and you're needing your screen there, it's really convenient. Number 15, Questions for Humans conversation cards, $18 on RamseySolutions.com. My friend Dr. John Zaloni created these, and they're great, you guys. They're great just to have out. And if you have friends over, they're fun to play. It's just some conversation starters, some great, interesting, creative questions to ask a group of friends. It's a great gift. Number 16, a personalized soft cover photo book. So this is $15, and it's a really cute, customized photo book, and it's great to capture memories with. And you can put it on display on their new coffee table. Again, it'll take some time and effort on that one, but it's really cute. Number 17, Beauty by Earth Shower Steamers Aromatherapy Pack. It's $19 on Amazon. And, you're exhausted from moving, your friends, you're so tired. Here's these aromatherapy shower steamers that are great to unwind, relax, and people use that kind of stuff. Number 18, the Cheese Board Deck, $20 on Williams-Sonoma. And again, who doesn't love a snack board? And it kind of gives guides for every meal, some ingredients and spreads. It's awesome. Number 19, a USA 50-state dish towel. It's $18 on AmandaKleinCompany.com. And here in the South, decorative dish towels, they're kind of a thing. And I think it's cute because you can get the specific states that they're moving from or to as a housewarming gift. Again, it's kind of those thoughtful things that are sweet. Number 20, City Lights 1,000-piece puzzle, $17 on Amazon. Great gift. I love puzzles, and I think it's a great gift, especially if they have kids and they're wanting to do something, fun on a weekend. They'll have that puzzle from you. Number 21, You Grow Girl 3-piece gardening kits, $22 on Amazon. So gardening has been a thing. So if you need a starter kit or they need a starter kit, it's great for gardening. So I think those things are fun. Now, again, all of these options were very budget friendly, very creative. Some of your friends would hate some of those. Some of them will love some of them. So know your friend. And here's the thing, to be thoughtful and intentional in life, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And I think it's sweet because it's thoughtful. You're celebrating your friends' big moments in life and having people cheering you on along the way and that are there to support you, I think is what really matters. So again, whether you're cooking or you're decorating, aromatherapies, whatever it is, you can have some great gifts that are budget friendly. And if you want to know more ways to keep shopping budget friendly, make sure to check out my video on 9 one-time purchases that will actually save you money in the long run. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Hey, you guys. So the state of the economy is constantly changing, but the temptation to overspend is always a constant factor, no matter what the headlines are saying, which is why I want to share today 5 easy habits that you can start implementing today to keep you on track with your money goals. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and we will get started. All right, first and foremost, make things visual. Meaning, when you actually see what you're spending, you're going to feel it a little differently versus if it's just up in the cloud. Meaning, back in the day, when you would use actual cash and you visually saw how much money you were spending, on groceries or at the mall or wherever it was, you actually saw real money leave your hands. And stats always showed that you spent less when you spent with actual cash. And I really believe there was a power in visually seeing your money leave. Now, we are living in our world today where it's becoming more and more harder to
use cash, so people are not using it as much. So I want to be able to encourage you to find another way to make things visual when you're spending your money. So that could be keeping receipts. That could be tracking transactions in the EveryDollar app. Whatever it is, looking at your bank statements. I mean, I want you to visually see where your money is going. Because again, when you're just swiping a card, even a debit card, but you're just swiping thinking, okay, yep, I mean, I think I have enough in my account, and you just move along your day, it's really, really hard to emotionally realize, gosh, I really am spending money. But when you are tracking that transaction in the EveryDollar app, you know, that's how much I spent at Costco, which I did today. That, you know, this is what I spent here or there. And you actually are seeing money being moved around in the budget, knowing that that is actual dollars and cents. And so I think that emotional part is really, really important. And so if you're working towards a specific financial goal, keep a chart on the refrigerator even for your milestones and say, yeah, you know, here visually, here's where we're at. A lot of people do this when they're paying off debt. You know, they'll create like a line and they'll color in the line till they get to the end. Or people will do rings and they'll rip off a ring every $1,000 they pay off. Or maybe you're saving towards something and so you color in a graph. I mean, that happens all the time because people are doing it because it's so helpful and it's motivating when you actually see your money visual in this world that is so digital. The second is to wait. And I always talk about this because so much of overspending can come just from the adrenaline of shopping, right? When you are shopping, stuff is happening even chemically in your body. We get excited. It's so fun. It's like our brain kind of shuts off and we're just spending money and shopping. And you end up overspending when your emotions take over. But when you wait, even just go to bed and then the next day, relook at your purchases. It is amazing when those emotions die down to realize, okay, I may not really need this. Or what I even do is just add things to cart, and then I'll come back a day or two later and half the stuff, I swear, in the cart, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want that. I don't really need that. But when you're in the moment, it's so instant. And again, you're going to tend to overspend. So when you wait and actually say, okay, you know, do I want this or do I not? I think it's really key. I just did this recently with Target. And sadly, I did not follow my own advice recently because I saw these pair of Target boots. I was like, oh, those are cute. So I added them to my cart. And then I saw another pair that was rounded toe, not pointed. And I was like, oh, well, those may work too. And then I saw some brown ones. And then I saw ones with a different heel. And I was like, oh, well, I like that. Literally bought 4 pairs of boots. Had them delivered. Got them. And I was like, well, I don't need these. I did keep 2 of them because I actually did want the brown and the black. But I sent the other 2 back. But if I had waited overnight, honestly, I don't think I would have had to go and exchange or return things because I probably wouldn't have bought them in the first place. So I have to say this to myself. Just wait. Don't be spontaneous when it comes to your spending. All right, before I share the rest of my tips, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. So when you go against what society thinks is normal, like avoiding debt, for example, it might seem a little weird at first, and that is totally okay. It's good to be weird if that means that you're doing things intentionally, including how you spend your healthcare dollars. And one way to be intentional is with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM isn't health insurance. They're a health cost-sharing ministry that's helped hundreds of thousands of families like yours take care of healthcare costs without sacrificing their freedom. Programs start as low as $98 a month. Find out more and join at chministries.org/budget. That's chministries.org/budget. All right, number 3 is to say no to add-ons. This is really going to help you not overspend. So this could be things like, oh, you can get the shipping in 24 hours versus 5 to 7 business days. You're going to spend more there. Or if you're buying and like, well, you get free shipping if you spend, $18 more, and then you go to buy something and everything is $25 plus, you end up spending more just to get one item to get the free shipping. Even extended warranties, you guys, listen. I mean, a lot of those, they will add on money and it sounds good in the moment, but you end up not usually using them. And you end up, again, adding on some extra dollars and cents. And also travel insurance. So this is something that people really debate on. But depending on the situation, there may be a chance that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do travel insurance because maybe the trip is closer in time. Maybe it's something that you can cover, or the hotel, gives you like a 24-hour cancellation policy. Like whatever it is in your situation with your travel, you may not need travel insurance, and that will save you money as well. All right, number 4 is to take inventory of what you already have. So go look in your pantry before you go grocery shopping. Go look in your closet or even your friend's closet. If you're needing like a cute dress for a party, don't feel like you have to go and buy something. Maybe you have something that is in your closet now, or again, ask a friend to borrow something. And this also helps when debating a bigger purchase, like a nice kitchen appliance that maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe I'll save up and pay for it. Try it out first and challenge yourself. Hey, do I actually use what I have already? I mean, even think about like a blender, like, they have like Vitamix, like the really nice blender. But if you don't use your regular blender now, are you going to use a blender, right? Or an air fryer, like all this stuff, especially in the kitchen, all these gadgets. If you're not using it now, anyways, if you have like a similar version, then don't upgrade to a nicer one if you're not going to use it. And this is so key because when you don't overspend, you actually have margin in your budget. And this is why I love my 24-hour money finder. So make sure to check it out. I'll put a link down below, but this is going to help you go through your money situation and in 24 hours, find you some extra money. All right, last but not least, write it down. To not overspend, write it down and have a plan on what you're doing. So the grocery store is a great example of this. Have a list. Know exactly what you need for what you're making that week or in those couple of days, and just say, this is all I'm buying. Or even if you go to Target, be like, okay, you're buying, a birthday gift, diapers, bananas and shampoo. Like, I don't know, like whatever the thing is. You're like, this is what we're buying. And nothing else. I'm not going to go get a new throw blanket or a candle. No, we are sticking to the plan. And again, it's kind of back to that making it visual idea that when you actually know this is the plan and I'm sticking to this versus having everything in your head, it is really, really helpful. And sometimes it helps to give yourself a time limit as well, so you're not just aimlessly wandering through aisles if you're shopping in person. All right, speaking of Target, you have to watch my episode all about these 7 Target hacks you're missing out on coming up next. Share this episode with a friend who loves a good frugal tip. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.
So one of the questions I get asked all the time when people find out that I don't have a credit card is, how do you travel? How do you online shop? How do you rent a car? How do you do all this? And the simple answer is a debit card. Debit card will do everything a credit card will do except get you into debt. Now, with a credit card, obviously people are used to credit cards, so there's really no friction. With a debit card, there's chances are that there's a rental car company that won't rent to you, but Winston and I rent all the time, so find another company. Online, again, you can use a debit card. It works. Basically anything. So the whole idea that you have to have a credit card just for basic life necessities to use in 2023 can be solved with a debit card. Your money coming out of your account. And the great thing is too, statistically, you will save money by doing this because so many studies show that when you spend with a credit card, you emotionally are not connected to that money. So you tend to spend anywhere from 12 to 18% more on a credit card versus a debit card. You swipe a debit card and you know that this money is coming out of your accounts. Your own money is being spent, so you think twice, even subconsciously, about the purchase. So debit cards, it's the way to go.
Well, hey, you guys. All right, I hate to be the bearer of old news, but in case you've been living under a rock, almost everything has gotten more expensive recently. Yeah, have you noticed? We've all caught a little bit of a break, specifically, with eggs and toilet paper, over the last year or two. But overall, inflation is still sticking around. And one area that this is majorly affecting is the cost of insurance. So everything from car insurance to health insurance to home insurance, the cost of these continue to increase, it seems like, by the day. And it is so frustrating. My sister, she went to go renew their homeowner's insurance. She's like, can you believe this? I mean, it's true. I mean, we're all seeing it. So today I'm going to give you a heads up on what to watch out for and talk through some solutions when it comes to this issue. And stick around because I'll be sharing 2 types of insurance that people tend to skip, but ones that you need. All right, first, I started thinking about this topic when someone called the Ramsey Show and they said they couldn't get their car covered by any insurance companies. And I was hosting the Ramsey Show with Dr. John Deloney that day. And we both were like, what? Really? Are you sure? We were like totally questioning the guy. And he was like, no, really, really. So then finally we looked it up after we got done with the call. And he was right. Like there's a specific model of a Kia that had a bad track record with safety features or part repairs
And basically, insurance companies refused to get involved because they didn't want to pay for the high risk and everything. And so like, it was crazy. So then I knew like that was kind of going on. And then some other insurances were going up. So I was like, we just need to look at this and get the facts. So let's look at some recent stats just to wrap our head around all of this. According to the S&P Global Market Intelligence, insurance companies aim to raise home insurance premiums by more than 11% last year on average. And in addition to that, car insurance premiums are now starting to outpace inflation. So, for example, Farmers Insurance raised its private auto rates to double digits in 43 states last year. And health insurance rates are rising, and an estimated 8.4% of Americans, aka 27.6 million, were going without health coverage in 2022, according to Forbes. So what happens as a result of inadequate coverage when things happen in life? Debt. Debt ends up being the safety net for many people's situations. So whether it's health insurance, car insurance, all of it. And now medical debt is really common. And honestly, it is so sad. It's actually the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical debt. And you think about that, it's so sad. And we can't fix the health care situation in America through this video. But I think we can all say that it does suck that in order to take care of ourselves, it costs a lot of money and you have to have adequate insurance to make sure that it's covered, because if that doesn't happen, then you are paying a premium out of pocket and it leaves a lot of people in financial distress, and it's really, really difficult. And so what I want to do though is talk through some practical solutions to this problem in a minute. But first, let's look at the why behind rising insurance rates as a whole. So there's a few reasons for this. Number one, insurance execs claim that they're being forced to raise rates because that it's legitimately required because of the lifestyle norms of people today. You know, the cost it takes to take care of things like your car being replaced or things going on in the healthcare industry. Because things are more expensive, they're having to charge more. Number two, an increase in natural disasters over the last couple of years, along with the increase of population, has affected supply and demand. And number three, the culprit that we can all agree on, inflation. So clearly this is a challenge for so many people, but we're feeling it even in insurance. Now listen, I am not here to invalidate the struggle because it is very real, but I do want to offer some solutions that help, because I want you to be able to control what you can control. And sadly, we can't always control what the insurance companies are going to do, but we can control what we do with our money. Now, one of those things you can control is actually one of our sponsors, which is Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is a faith-based alternative to health insurance, and it makes healthcare more affordable and allows its members to share each other's healthcare costs. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. So step 1, choose the healthcare provider that you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. And with no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. So to find out more, go to chministries.org/budget. All right, here are 3 things that I want you to do ASAP that are going to pay off big time. Number 1, ditch unnecessary coverage. So insurance is an important part of life, but there is coverages, you guys, you don't need. So things like whole life insurance, you need life insurance, but whole life is so expensive. Accidental death insurance, you don't need that. Mortgage protection insurance. Any insurance that is for kids, okay? So a lot of people try to sell like a whole life policy for your child or things like that. Gerber insurance, all of this stuff, you don't need that stuff. So when you take those things off the table, if you have them, that's going to save you some money. Number 2, be diligent in asking questions. So whether it's phone calls to your doctor's office or a quick meeting with your HR rep at work, asking questions specifically around the health insurance stuff can be really finicky, but really important, because sometimes these insurance companies just bank on you not asking questions. They send you the bill and you just keep on moving. But we've heard so many stories of people that keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and they get their bill lowered because whether they found something in the fine print or there's errors or there's things going on. Again, ask questions, dig in, and that could save you some money. And number 3, price out what's best for your family. Time is money, people. And there are pros and cons to different coverage packages with different insurance companies. So don't forget that you hold the power when you decide your options, and you get to say, hey, which option do I want? So if you and your spouse maybe have different benefits packages between both of your jobs, sit down and say, hey, is it better for you to take the family and the kids on yours and I'll go as an individual? Or is it better for us to come together just to see, hey, what's going to save us? Even if it's $200 a month, that's $2,400 in a year. So it's worth the trouble to do the math and figure that out. And spoiler alert, if you got extra money, that's margin that you have to use for your life or pay off debt or save, and that's great. Now, before I share the 2 types of insurances that most people skip most often, let's circle back to our chat about debt a little bit earlier. Because if you're someone that feels the weight of the past when it comes to specifically medical debt or an emergency expense that you weren't prepared for, here's what I recommend doing. Number 1, get an emergency fund ASAP. So this is a $1,000 emergency fund. And then number 2, I want you to start paying off your debt. Now, again, if medical debt is one of those in there, do what we talked about earlier and ask some questions. See, hey, are there places here that the bills can be lowered at any portion? And even if they go into collections, which some of them do, sometimes you can negotiate with the collection company. Get everything in writing if you can do that. But again, this is something that it's so burdensome on people because it carries such a sad story usually with it. But here's the thing, if it's a mountain, you can take it a little bit at a time. And, just as I see people with student loan debt in the 6 figures, but they pay it off, it takes a while, but they focus on it, they put extra money towards it, and they actually start to see it lower and lower and lower. That can happen with any type of debt, you guys. So again, having a plan puts you in control, which again, I think is so key, and it's just one step at a time. All right, you guys, the 2 insurances that you want to make sure that are in place. Number 1, if you are a renter, please get renter's insurance. It is very inexpensive. I mean, I've seen them as low as like $12, $20 a month. Okay, they're very inexpensive. But get it, because if something happens, if there's a fire, a natural disaster, whatever, and everything is gone, that's all your personal belongings, like making sure that all that's covered. And it's really inexpensive. It may not happen, but again, it's something to protect yourself. And then number 2, identity theft insurance. So this is a big one too in our world that is so digital, that our data is out there. There is so much going on, especially even that we pay online so much with stuff. Like everything is out there, making sure that your identity is protected. And Xander Insurance is a great place to do this. And just to have somebody on your team that if it happens or when it happens, because I feel like identity theft is so common now, they take care of that for you, which is great. Now, you want to make sure that you're protected with all the insurances that you need. So I recommend using Ramsey's Insurance Checkup. I will leave a link below to make sure that you check that out and that you're covered in all the areas of life that you need to be covered. And for more clarity on what you should and shouldn't be wasting your money on, make sure to check out my episode with Minimal Mom on things that we will not spend money on in 2024. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. All right, in certain seasons of parenting, it's literally about survival. And sometimes in a pinch, the chaos can cause you to spend money and sometimes on really funny things. So today I'm going to be reading your wildest mom spending confessions because we've all been there. So drop your comments down below if you have more because we could all use the laugh. All right. I'm going to go first. So my kids are obsessed with bath bombs. I'm convinced, not because it's cool and it makes the water a different color. No, it's because there's a stupid little toy in the middle of it. And once it dissolves, they get this little trinket and they're just you would think they hit the jackpot. And so a big box of these on Amazon, I don't know, they're probably $25, but my kids will go through them. They will literally use 3 a day. And I'm like, stop, one a day, you guys. And then they're done. And all I hear are can we have bath bombs? Can we have bath bombs? So I have now made it a rule. It's once a quarter we get the box of bath bombs because they would literally use an entire box in a week. And I'm like, y'all. But sometimes they just wear me down. They wear me down. And I'm like, fine, I'll Amazon some and you can have some so I don't have to hear about this anymore. But it is. Sometimes you just got to buy the thing. It's wild, though. The lives we live, you guys. The lives we live. Okay, so now I asked you guys on social media, what were some of the things that you spent money on as a mom? May have been impulse, may have regretted it, maybe not. But, what are these things? So the first one was $500 for a sleep consultant for our 5-month-old. Worth every penny. And you know what? I'm going to say amen to that. Amen. Especially people that are having babies later in life. I'm like,
the older you are, the more you should have someone helping you when it comes to sleep and all of it. I read a book. I was like so militant with my babies of like sleeping through the night because I know I need sleep. And it worked, but I was so passionate about it that for so long, I always said, if this job ended for me, I would be a travel agent and a sleep trainer for babies because I believe in it so much. So amen, worth every penny, because I totally agree, because you're exhausted and you need the sleep. All right, number 2 is 1,000,000 different sun hats just to get them to wear one. Redhead problems. Yeah. Oh, the baby sun hats. I think I did the same because every time you see one, you're like, okay, this one, because they all have different, flavors. I feel like this is an adult, right? All the different sun hats. I'm like, we were at a pool recently, like tons of people was at a hotel. And I was like, oh my gosh, even the style of adult hats, like it changes. I'm like, this is like, what is happening? And same with the baby. And it's like, I will have a pile of 10 to make sure that baby does not get burned. So I get that. Number 3, an emergency t-shirt from H&M after my toddler peed all over my dress. That's a good one. And we have all been there. Number 4, a plunger. My child wanted to play with one and carried it around for days. Okay. Isn't it funny what kids like they get addicted to? And my kids did the same thing. I remember one of them, what was it? It was like not even like a it wasn't a spatula and it wasn't a whisk, but it was like a kitchen thing. And same thing. Obsessed. And there was like a pack of 4 of them for like $4.99. And I was like, here, you can just have this. And it's still up in our playroom kitchen area, up in their playroom because it is real. So those quick things that they're just addicted to, I'll take it. All right, number 5, door dashing floats for the pool. You know what? Sometimes you're in need of the good floats. Number 6, real crutches to play hospital. What a mom. What a great mom. Didn't we all want like a broken bone? Like I wanted a cast so bad in life. Or I remember I took gloves from our doctor's office. Actually, my mom made me go back to the doctor and tell him I took it because I kind of stole them. But those like the latex gloves, I always like wanted those. Like, I don't know. Isn't it funny, the things that kids are obsessed with? So good for you. Way to like buy real crutches. That's like such a great mom move. All right. For the times that when you and your kids are not pretending that you have medical needs, Christian Healthcare Ministries is there to help. So when you lose your employer's sponsor health insurance, there may be a better option than COBRA. Consider Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is an affordable, biblically based alternative to health insurance that could be a third of the price of COBRA. Yes, CHM programs start as low as $98 a month, and CHM helps hundreds of thousands of families take care of over $11 billion in medical bills since 1981. CHM members are also supported spiritually with prayer when they have a medical event. So try getting that support with COBRA, because you will not. So whether you are going through a job loss, a life change, or just want to consider other options to save on healthcare costs, check out CHM. To learn more, go to chministries.org/budget. That's chministries.org/budget. Number 7, my Honda Odyssey. Oh, can we just have a moment for the minivans? Yes. Okay, so I saw Kylie Kelsey had this whole thing about her getting a minivan too, because they just had their 4th baby, and she was, it was like this whole joke of she never thought she would. And I agree. You're in those places sometimes, you're like, never will I ever. And then the minivan comes in. And for a season, maybe a long season, changes your life. So that is a mom purchase that is well worth it. An expensive one, but well worth it. Number 8, the PPTPs for little boys. Okay, I got some of these. Never used them, but man, boys changing their diapers, way different than girls. Way different. I was peed on multiple times by Charles because I didn't think about it. You got to cover that thing, man. It's just it is real. And it is crazy. It's like when the cold air hits them, it goes. It's just something happens. So it's a good purchase. Number 9, decoy TV remotes. Yes. Yes and amen. And you know what I would have done? And this is probably what you did because you're a smart mom. Just go on Amazon and order a bunch of old ones. Not the Fisher Price ones that light up and sing. We don't need that. We don't need the extra noise. No. We just need old TV remotes because why are they obsessed? Why? But they are. Man, that just took me back. I forgot about how obsessed my kids were with TV remotes. Number 10, Wendy Gas Passer by Frida Baby. Okay. I know this brand. I don't know what the Wendy Gas Passer, maybe I believe it was, I bet that's great. I don't know what it is. I know from that brand, the thing that you stick in the nose and you stuck out. So satisfying. So weird, but so satisfying. Number 11, a golf cart. Oh my gosh. Yes and amen. What a fun thing for kids. Just going around the neighborhood, right? Number 12, squeaky shoes for my runaway toddler. Oh, I've seen those and heard those. Those are good. That's a good impulse purchase, just to like know where they're at. And especially when they're starting to walk. It's like, yep, they need those shoes. All right, if you find yourself in seasons like this, and sometimes you just need a little impulse purchase, I get it. And you know, that is why I do love the idea of knowing where your money's going, you guys, because life is going to happen. And when you have some cushion and margin, this is why we want to take control of our money. Yes, because we want to like change our legacies and build wealth and do all the great things. But sometimes it's just about having the margin to get the stuff that in the bind, in the moment, you think, I can get this, and this is going to make my life easier. So that's another reason why all of this is important about taking control of our money. But it's also a good time to teach your kids about gratitude and contentment. And this is a really big thing for me. That's why I actually wrote some kids' books on these topics, because there are 3 books. It was on gratitude, contentment, and generosity, and about sharing. And these are life lessons that I know I'm trying to instill, just not even in me as an adult, but also my kids. And I love books. And I was like always a mom that loved having books for my kids. I love reading books. And so I thought, I just want to create 3 books. So you guys are going to love them because they're beautiful, like the illustrations and everything, obsessed. And I made them very short. So you're welcome, parents. And they rhyme. So the whole thing, I love these books. So I'll put a link down below for you to check them out. All right. One thing no parent wants is to raise kids who end up being totally lost out in the real world. So make sure to check out the episode, My Go-To Parenting Strategy for Avoiding Entitled Kids. You can watch right here, or if you're listening on a podcast, I'll put a link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. One huge myth is that becoming wealthy just like takes care of all of life's problems and everything will disappear. And that's not true. Just try watching White Lotus for one episode and you will see it. That's not true. And again, we get in this idea, if I just had this amount of money, like, oh my gosh, everything would be okay and be fine. But listen, money is just a tool. It is not a magic wand. Can it help you in life? Yes, but it is a double-edged sword. So if we put too much faith in money and building wealth, that like somehow everything's gonna be great, that's not true. But also, it is there to help us in our lives. But what I have discovered is that there are 5 other tools that money cannot buy, but can help you build a wealthy life. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. So I say it all the time, but it's true. Money makes you more of what you already are. And so if you are stressed, angry, impulsive, insecure, all the things, that becomes magnified. And so working on yourself in this process and becoming a healthier version of you is so key as you continue to get your money in control and start building wealth. So in order to address some of these deeper issues as you work on your financial goals, here are 5 areas of your life that you may already be wealthy in. Number 1 is relational. So when it comes to relationships in life, you cannot buy them. You cannot earn them. They are a gift that I think life just gives you. So whether it's your family, your friends, your spouse, your neighbors, your church family, like anything about it, like that is such a gift. John Deloney always talks about just even if you have 3 good friends in your life, you are rare because there is so much loneliness. There is a life of isolation that people live relationally, and life is so much richer when you do it with people and you have people in your life to share it with. And it's like, give me friends and a great family and my kids and all of that all day long. Like that fills up my tank so much. And you can't buy that. You cannot buy that. So look at the relationships around you. And maybe even it's an encouragement that if you don't have that, like other people are searching for it too. So maybe there's someone out there waiting to be best friends with you. Number 2 is professional. So if you have a dependable way to earn money, that this is a gift. Like if you have a job that pays you money, what a gift. But also above that, if you enjoy what you do, that's a wealthy life right there. Like when you go to work and you don't absolutely hate it. So I'm going to say fight for that, you guys. You spend so much time working. If you are working, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week, you want to enjoy it. We spend so much time at work. So again, finding this way, and I love Ken Coleman. He used to talk about this so much, but it's true. Like where you're passionate and where you're good, when that intersects and you're with people in an environment that is fun and enjoyable and encouraging, uplifting, that is a wealthy life. Like what a gift that is. Another underrated way that you can experience stability and security is by keeping your personal information protected. Because if you don't remove your personal data from the internet, it's basically like a billboard. It's your name and address. Even your kids' names are out there on sketchy data broker websites, and data brokers then collect your data and sell it. And so you are at risk for scams and fraud and harassment and phishing. But here's the good news. Delete Me goes in and removes your information so you're not at risk for phishing and harassment and other online threats. Winston and I use Delete Me, and it saves us so much time and worry. So make sure your family's safety and financial security, they are so important, so do not leave it exposed. Go sign up for Delete Me and take control. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, bringing your monthly costs to under $9, or just click the link in the description. All right, another way that you can look at your life and say, yes, I am very wealthy, is with your health. I mean, I'm telling you, the minute your sinuses like get stopped up and you like tweak your neck though from like sleeping wrong, it's like, oh my God, I just want to be healthy again, right? We take it for granted so often. Like you get one little ailment and it's like, oh, I just want to be healthy again. And so it is like, man, what a gift our health is, right? And it is an investment. It doesn't necessarily cost money. Yes, you can like take a walk, watch a sunset, drink a cup of coffee or tea, like slow your life down. You can do all those things for free, basically, right? But you can invest, right? You can work out, join a gym, do these things to create health within your life. Absolutely. But also there's a point that like, yeah, we can't buy it though. You talk to someone that runs a marathon and they get diagnosed with cancer. Like, right? Like there's a truth to the idea that we can't control it all. We can put great things in place to help us become healthier, but overall, our health in general, it is such a gift, and it is a part of being wealthy in life, because that is a sense, again, that you cannot buy. You cannot buy that part of your life. Number 4 is spiritual. So while you're on your way to financial peace by being smart with your money, I would say too that, having something bigger in your life is so huge, you guys. And from a spiritual perspective, again, having something that is beyond you, I think is so, so key. We can get so tied up with ourselves, but there's something to actually zoom out and say, yeah, there is something greater. And it doesn't mean that when you create a spiritual life and you start to pursue that things are going to get easier all of a sudden. That's not the promise. But there is something to say, I'm going to live beyond myself. For me, it is Jesus. And it's like, yeah, what is beyond me? And what is an example that I can follow that is not Rachel in America in 2025, like something so much greater that can offer so much more that you can't buy. You can't buy it. It is there though. It is offered to you. You can't buy it. So that is a part for me in my life that creates this wealth. And so when I look at it, spirituality is definitely one of those for me. Number 5, I'm going to say generosity, because it can look a lot of different ways, but I'm talking more about the spirit of generosity. Like when you can't buy someone who is kind. It's amazing. People who are kind in life are usually some of the most generous people, and not always just with their money, but with their time, with their conversations, like all of it. Like there is something so beautiful about living a life that is full when you are generous and when it's not all about you, but you go and you serve other people. Like that creates a wealth in your life that you cannot buy. Now we can use money and be generous, and we talk about this a lot. And I think that it is so important. I think that it should be part of your financial journey. But it's just really beautiful when you can do that, but you can also give not just your money, but you're giving these other parts of yourself too to people, because that creates a well-rounded, beautiful life. But trust me, there are a ton of more underrated signs of wealth out there. So be sure to check out 8 subtle ways to spot a quiet millionaire coming up next. You can click there, or I'll put a link down in the description if you're listening on podcast. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Smartphones are pretty much a consistent part of our everyday lives, including myself. I mean, we use our phones all the time, and I know we have mixed feelings about it. So listen, technology, yes, cannot be a great thing, but sometimes it's very convenient. So I'm going to share the 7 apps that I use every single day. So let me know in the comments what your must-haves are, because sometimes they just help out our lives. All right, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend before we get started. All right, first and foremost, I hate it, but it's just the truth. The data on my phone shows me like what apps you spend the most time on, and I looked at mine. I hate it. I hate it. It's just the truth, though. It's Instagram. Ugh. Okay, I like to say I have to do it for work. I have to be on for work. It's part of my work. But let's be honest, I doom scroll, and I get in bad habits, y'all. It's crazy. It's like sometimes I look at my phone, I'm like, I'm on Instagram. I'm like, how did I get there? I don't even remember unlocking my phone, and here I am. So, yes, a good part of me, I like to keep up with friends. I have a friend, that ran the Boston Marathon, and she was like keeping up to date on stories. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to follow her journey along. So sometimes it really is great. And I do like to follow some creators and authors and speakers that I admire. Like, there's some great things about it, but also I probably shouldn't spend as much time. Our church does like a technology fast, basically, like making your smartphone a dumb phone. And it's always like the best 30 days of my year to be like, oh, I'm going to put some hard boundaries around this because it kind of resets my soul. But that's the truth. Number 1 for me, Instagram. Okay, number 2, Marco Polo. I've learned this is a very millennial thing because it's basically a video message that you send to your friend, but you can watch it whenever. You literally use it every day because it's friends that are out of town. Some friends that aren't, but I'm not able to see people every single day, and I need that connection. So for me, catching up with people, Marco Polo, I love it. Number 3 is EveryDollar. So EveryDollar, if you know me, I love EveryDollar. But I get on it every day and check my transactions. Usually I'm having to add something to the budget, so I'm having to shift some things around. Things just come up in life, and money, as we all know, is pretty much plugged into majority of things that we have going on, whether it's like lunch with a friend or things for the kids' school or like whatever's happening. Usually money somehow is attached to what's going on. So just kind of having a pulse on it every day is something I love. So I track transactions almost every day. I love that. I love the feature of the budget rollover. So it just duplicates last month's budget. So you can go in and like take out the categories that you don't need for the new month, add some new ones. But I like that I don't have to do a new budget every single month. I get to tweak last month's budget. So it makes it easy. I love the insights feature on it because it'll give you bar graphs and pie graphs and show you like where you're spending. And it just, again, I get a good pulse on what's going on with our money. I love that. Speaking of money, number 4, Venmo. So not to be dramatic, but what did we do before Venmo, y'all? I mean, I literally used it, I think, 4 times this weekend with different things. So whether it's like paying babysitters or we got a big dinner for like a lot of our friends on Saturday, and they're all like, how much do we owe you? We'll Venmo you. I mean, like it is. It's just like a part of life, and it really is great. So I do love Venmo. Now, one of my biggest Venmo icks, though, is when married couples send money back and forth because they don't combine their money. So it's like, I'll Venmo you back for this. And I've heard couples do this, and I'm like, oh man. So just another reminder, if you're married, just, combine your finances, okay? Don't be Venmoing bills back and forth. All right, something that is not an app, but is an absolute must if you're looking for reliable, affordable healthcare is Christian Healthcare Ministries. Health insurance costs are only moving one way, and it isn't down. The wait times are longer, and it's harder than ever to get anything approved. So if you feel like the system is working against you, try Christian Healthcare Ministries, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. CHM is a health cost-sharing ministry that's helped hundreds of thousands of families like yours take care of healthcare costs, stay true to their values, and avoid getting tied down by miles of red tape. Y'all, there is a better way. CHM programs start as low as $98 a month. So find out more and join at chministries.org/budget. At chministries.org/budget. Number 5 is GroupMe. I love a GroupMe. So in our neighborhood, we have like 20 GroupMes that it's about everything. And it's great because you kind of can keep up to date with stuff. My kids' school, usually there's a GroupMe like per classroom that all the moms are on. And that's very helpful. And I like it better than iPhone, like just texting, because sometimes the group chats on iPhone just get nuts. And I hate like always having like the ding, 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 where for GroupMe, I've like set up the notifications and everything. So I check it. But it's not annoying, and it's not like you get behind too much on it. I don't know. There's something about it I love, but pretty much every day I'm on GroupMe. Number 6, Google Maps. Yeah, I have lived in the same city my entire life. I went away for college for 4 years, but I came back. But listen, Nashville's interstates, they still confuse me a little bit, and things are changing around here. And so I do find myself either using like that Google map, or if I'm in my car, Apple CarPlay is great. And then I get my little, map right there. It's fantastic. I love it. Number 7 is Amazon. I get in trouble with this one, but y'all, I am just buying stuff. So whether it's like batteries or a new book or whatever it is, listen, it's convenient. That's all I got to say. So Amazon, do I overspend on you? Yes. But do we love you? Yes. It's a love-hate relationship. Now, even though I do love Amazon shopping and prioritizing intentionality, though, it is still key. So making sure everything is within the budget. So we talked about every dollar earlier, but I'll put a link down below. But if you want to avoid wasting your money on meaningless items that are not worth it, make sure to check out my episode 7 purchases that significantly improved my life. So you can click here if you're watching, or I'll put a link down below if you're listening on podcast. All right, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Hey, you guys, do you ever look around and just feel like, God, everybody around me feels wealthier than I am? Well, if that's you, today I'm going to share some common reasons why we might feel this way. Plus, I'll share proven ways to combat this feeling and keep your focus. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. All right, if you know me, you know that I talk about comparison culture a lot. And I think it's on my mind often because I see it challenging us in new ways all the time, right? When we were young, it may have been like American Eagle or Hollister t-shirts that you see. But now it's like a $50,000 car that you see your neighbor driving. So the price seems to have gone up when it comes to our comparison, and it's constantly interrupting us through social media and advertising. And again, it's not making any of this easier. So let's have a little level set for a second. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary in the U.S. during Q4 of last year was just below $60,000. So if you're close to the national average, that means 2 things are true. Number 1, you are normal. And number 2, most people are in the exact same boat as you. Which brings me to reason number 1, comparison culture is making us feel behind, is because most people are using debt to get ahead. And it can feel like everyone around you has like a new trendy thing all the time, or golly, they're doing all this stuff like vacations, or they're going out to great dinners, or it feels like they're traveling a lot. And that can feel so normal. But what you have to realize is, statistically speaking, we are seeing debt of all kinds are on the rise. So that's credit cards, car loans, personal loans, HELOCs. We are seeing people borrow money more than ever before. Now, yes, we are in a tough economy right now with high inflation. And so some people are using it to cover basic necessities for sure, but also our lifestyle and the standard of living that we have in America today is pretty dang high. And so for the average American to be able to cash flow and support what we see as quote unquote normal is really difficult. So if you're seeing people going above and beyond, they possibly could be using debt for that. The second reason you might feel like you're making less than everyone else is maybe you are. Sometimes it's a false sense of comparison because genuinely you might be making less than the person you're comparing your life to. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if it's a problem in your budget, then you have a couple of options. Number 1, you may have to increase your income, right? If there's a certain level you want to be living, but you're not making that income, then your income needs to increase. And so whether that's side hustles, working overtime, or even getting a raise at your current job, whatever it looks like, increasing your income is going to be important. But then also lowering your spending. And so if you want some margin because you're not making as much as the person next to you, when it comes to your expenses, this is going to be really crucial. You're going to have to go through and really look at where you're spending your money and where you can actually be more purposeful and say, hey, I'm actually going to spend X amount at the grocery store. I'm not going to go out to eat as much as I was. I'm going to cut subscriptions that I'm not using. I'm going to do these things to be able to create margin on the expenses side. And kind of like what we said earlier, but I think there's something important to be said about adjusting your expectations. So if you are average and you're making $60,000 and you're comparing your lifestyle to someone that's making $120,000, they're making double what you're making. So your lifestyles are going to look different. So to get that margin, lowering your expenses is going to be really crucial. The third reason you might feel behind is because of unseen factors. So what do I mean by this? Well, maybe you're paying for childcare, but the person you're comparing your life to, grandma, watches the kids, right? And so they're saving $3,000-$4,000 a month on childcare because they have free childcare. Maybe their spouse is working and yours isn't, so they have a dual income coming in. Maybe they've paid off their student loans and they don't have that leaving their income, and you still are paying your student loans. It could even be family money, right? I mean, who knows? But these unseen reasons you have to understand is a reality. So I think it's really important, again, because you have to know when you're comparing your life to someone else's, you have no idea from a 360 picture what's going on. Again, maybe they're making way more than you think that they're making, or maybe they're borrowing way more than you think they are. But whatever it is, there are unseen things happening. And so take that into account. Something else that is unseen but is a threat today is our internet safety. That is why I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Delete Me. I saw a headline recently that really caught my attention, that 1/3 of the U.S. population's background info is now public. So for 115 million of us, data breaches mean that our info is out there for anyone to find. And this is things like our names, addresses, phone numbers. I mean, it's crazy, you guys. And this is why I love Delete Me, because they will find and remove your information from hundreds of data broker websites that will buy, sell, and trade your personal data. So take control of your online privacy with Delete Me. Individual Delete Me plans start as low as $9 a month. So sign up today at joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off. And I'll also put a link in the description. All right, reason number 4 you feel behind financially is because net worth is invisible. So some people may be prioritizing daily luxuries, right? So whether it's, shopping or vacations or going out to eat, whatever it looks like that you're seeing is, oh my gosh, they must have so much. They may be putting all of their income to that and none towards savings or investing, where you might be working to get out of debt. So your income's going there instead of a nice purse. Maybe you are investing money into retirement. So yours is going there and not a vacation at the moment. So, whatever it looks like, when you are really being wise with your money and you're planning long-term goals and you're actually fulfilling those, that means your money is being pushed out to the future and it's not present. But for a lot of people, they aren't investing in retirement. A lot of people are not trying to pay off debts. They're not saving up an emergency fund. They're just spending what they have. And so their present money is going to look like they have more, when in fact, net worth-wise, you could have more. Isn't that crazy? It may not look like it, but whether you're paying extra on your house and you have more equity, again, maybe you have investments, you don't have any debt, you're doing these things to put yourself in a great financial position. From a net worth perspective, you may have a lot more net worth and theirs actually could be negative, but it doesn't look that way. So your net worth is invisible. Remember that. And the 5th reason you could feel behind is that you don't have clear goals guiding you. And what I mean by this is when you have something that you're shooting for and you're like, okay, this is my next step, or I'm going to try to do this and this and this. And you kind of have this guide with your money beyond just everyday expenses, but hey, long term, this is what I'm going to do. You're really focused on your money there. And the exciting thing is, hopefully it's going to bring you joy to know that you're putting your money in places that you want to put it. But if you don't have goals guiding you and that you're not motivated in a certain way, it's going to be even easier to fall into this comparison trap. Because if you're kind of just living and going and you don't really have direction with your money, it feels like any picture or any conversation your friend has with you could really take you and spiral you all the way thinking, oh my gosh, look at what everyone else is doing. But when you're like, no, we're going to save up for that new car and pay cash for it, or we're going to, try to go on this trip for our anniversary next year, or whatever, fill in the blank, and you have a goal that you're saving towards and you're focused on that, that's going to really still give you direction versus just hearing or seeing people do stuff and thinking, oh my gosh, look at what all they're doing, because you're not making progress with your money. So money goals are so crucial, not only from a tactical standpoint, but also from a heart and motivation standpoint. And always remember that comparison is the thief of joy. It is a liar as well. Because when you compare your internal money struggles to someone else's external status symbols, it is never a fair assessment. Okay, so give yourself a lot of grace and always remember what I see may not always be the full picture. Now, I wrote about comparison because it is something that I've always kind of struggled with. I'm always looking around, whether it's mom comparison, career comparison, life comparison. I mean, you fill in the blank, Rachel has been through it. But learning that contentment is so key, not just in your financial journey, but for you as a person overall is really important. And so I wrote a whole book on this called Love Your Life, Not Theirs. And for right now, it's 30% off for our 50 days of Christmas deals. So I'll put a link below. Make sure to check that out. And sometimes it can be helpful to gauge how you're pacing with the average American. So if you need a quick checkpoint, check out my episode on how do you compare financially to the average American coming next. And share this with a friend who may need some encouragement. All right, you guys remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.